This is Dariani.
Okay, we gotta make sure that we don't get killed by all these little dinky guys. If we can bone shatter, clap them up, it's gonna be a nice run. It's gonna be nice. If we cannot, it's gonna be annoying. So we put our points in beef, which are not giving me more damage, but it's kind of like one of the only things that I've defensively invested in. Just a little bit more of a life pool for now. Block would be good. Yeah, my life is just not that high, is it, huh? Under 2k life, it's probably not that awesome. We have good, like, resists and stuff, but our actual just raw health pool is just not that great. Dude, Maim on Leap is actually so nice. See that guy, how slow he was, like, walking away from me? That was good. Maim on Leap is definitely check it off. That's good. This boss could be a little freaky, though, man. We're gonna have to be able to, like, plant our feet and perfect strike him. We're gonna have to. I'm not gonna try to spend a lot of time in this zone farming. We have sort of done our farming, and I don't really like this zone very much. And that's an understatement, so I'm trying to move through here. I don't want to leave too many mobs alive necessarily, though. Like behind me. Let's see. Like this right here. Don't like this. We're not trying to stick around too much. We're trying to get to the guy and make him die. Ideally. Did I ever hit anybody? I mean, they're always moving around, so maybe not. Gotta wind it up. Hit him with it on the boss fight. We do hit pretty hard with perfect strike. It's just we just gotta land it. Just gotta land it. Oh, hello there. Why don't you guys have this? No backflip jump kicks, please. Yeah, I mean that's a little bit of damn. It's gonna take a minute to kill Doriani, but we just stick with it, you know? Good Mike got it. Okay. The next little area here. More of the same. Leap Slam Bone Shatter. Bonk him on down. Let's see.
Stop this at once. I take no
Doriani,
one of my own.
just be friends with me.
I will do with her what I must.
You gotta give us back Alva, though. You gotta give us Alva back. This is unacceptable behavior. Just throw the toady at him, boys. The Rolling Slam totem is not like the best totem ever, but I think he's he'll do it for now. Stun build up, just good enough, you know. Eventually, if I can crit again, if I get enough accuracy, I should say, to not play Resolute Technique, then I'll go Sunder, and I'll let my totem Sunder off all the armor break. But right now, I don't want him Sundering off all the armor break and doing like nothing, like no crit damage for it. It's just not good. But later on, I might let him do it. Little toady boy go to work. It's his life's dream, I think. And just Sunder stuff. Okay, what is this guy doing? Stop. I didn't realize you were rare, but you need to chill out. Where are you going? Oh! Bopped him. Is that the coal shield? Coal block? No, it's something. I don't know if it's that one, but I don't think it's that one. It's something. We see it all the time, but
Take that.
we don't have that many uniques in SSF HC, so it's kind of cool. building our stash. Good old bone shatter, baby. Okay. We good? Flasks are full. Looking good. All right. Let's see if we can. The main thing is we need to not get one-shotted by his big old like Doriani slam special attack.
So,
Doriani slam.
the demon of Azzoatl has finally come for me.
I'm not here for you, fool.
That's right. He does this for a while.
This ends now. I'm not ready. A minor setback.
Right. So now he goes.
Give up. I must.
Does all this for a bit.
You know why we're here! It happened! It cannot be stopped!
No, I will succeed. Yes.
I cannot let my efforts be in vain.
The destruction at Azzoatl will be repaid 1,000-fold. I cannot allow you to interfere. Unexpected.
Okay. He still does more stuff too, I think.
Critical.
No, he doesn't. Nice. We can just not have to worry about his slam phase. Nice. Nice.
This happened.
Boys,
All I've done.
we did it.
All that I sacrificed.
Your people cannot be saved.
We did it.
History is already written.
Heroic. I say
You can
heroic.
stay here and
HC.
die, or
Hardcore.
come with us and help
Solo
save
self-found campaign
Legacy of the
and Path of Exile 2 complete.
protected.
Heroic hardcore.
The way to contain the beast.
Heroic
Start
hardcore.
talking now.
Because
My friend,
why was it
you
heroic?
will
Because we were playing
time.
a fire Warbringer warrior. That's some heroic, giga ethical stuff right there. Giga ethical. Like to thank the stream. Like to thank my family.
If only I had.
Like to thank
Legion.
CMQQ.
I suppose I'm not bought.
That was pretty cool.
If I will come to
That's pretty cool. We had one character
Let's hurry
who
back to the
died
time portal.
to King of the Mists, to that totem thing exploding, but we all know that was just a level 15 ripped for content. My second character, smooth sailing. You know, you got to die for content, or else what are you playing hardcore for, right? There we go. Just dying for content, just keeping things interesting. You know what I mean? Just gotta help out the homies. Who can I sell something to? I don't want to leave this loot on the ground. Let me see what we got actually. That's pretty bad. So is that. It's got a socket though. This is the enemy's cold on block shield. I was right. It's 46% block chance. 16% increased armor. 116. 16 chaos res, but you take 20% damage from blocked hits? No, we're not using that. Kidding me? So what do we want? Socket currency? Let's look at this thing. This thing has 2 sockets anyway. Okay. Redeemed. That's actually pretty good. Mana and physical damage. Your build was so much better than my 2-handed Earth Shatter. Oh, this one right here. Good job, good job. You've died 20 times trying this? Hey, we made it, we made it. Yeah, we died once for content. Once for content, and we got the job done. Cool. That's awesome. You guys want to talk about my build real quick? Yeah, we'll do this, and then we'll show you guys what we're working with before we call it a night. That was pretty cool, though, huh? That was awesome. Yeah. Hardcore solo self-found campaign complete. That's pretty badass. If I do say so myself.
It is time we departed.
Pretty
After we
dang
depart,
cool.
We will see
Pretty
about
dang cool. Whoa, dude.
What is happening?
Again, if we die on this character, I'm just gonna play him solo self-found anyway. But
Get him inside!
no, I mean that's pretty cool. I haven't really played hardcore in any game, like action RPG style. The most hardcore thing I did was hardcore classic WoW. But yeah, this is my first time playing hardcore in an action RPG, and we had our one death early on for content, and then we powered on through, man. But of course, we did play Path of Exile with my other warrior. But yeah, this was really fun. This was cool. I do like solo self-found in games. I think that Path of Exile 2 solo self-found is like a little tough right now, just because of the fact that like crafting isn't very extensive at the moment. But I do like that you gotta like kind of make your own way with your gear and stuff. And I also really like with hardcore, I don't necessarily like the permadeath thing, but right now the way it works is it just kicks your character in a normal solo self-found. But normally it would kick you out of the league into standard, which would be a bigger deal. But now you can kind of just go play normal solo self-found, so that's chill. But anyway, that's a pretty cool looking ring, man. 29 intelligence, 29 dex, 92 max life. This is like a max level ring. It just doesn't have that many resists, but it has giga stats. That's awesome. That's awesome. But anyway, the hardcore element is kind of fun because you do kind of want your character to be strong at all times, which is neat. So my first map will knock my resist down, but I think we'll be okay, except for cold. Neat. Should we just yeet one quick exalt on something? These are both pretty good. I think they really are both pretty good. Let's yeet the exalt on this, right? Did that just go 106 life? Okay. Well, that's a pretty good exalt. Excellent. All right. Love to see that. Love to see that. I don't think this is very good. I think we will scrap that. But yeah, let me go over my build real quick while we're still kind of in rhythm. But yeah, no, hardcore was a lot of fun. Solo self-found has been a lot of fun. I think I'm more committed to... Let me turn the music down a little bit. I'm more committed to the solo self-found grind than the hardcore grind. But I do like that the hardcore element, it does encourage you to keep your character powerful at all times. I think it's actually better to have the Regal right now, because I like that. We kind of took my time. We kind of took my time and stayed strong. And I like that. It makes your character matter all the time, which is fun, in my opinion. All right, well, let me go over the build a little bit, because that's what we do when we clear... Whoa! Hello there. When we clear content, we talk about the build. Until next. Let's do that. Let's do that. Should I, since we're technically kind of in rhythm, we should do... Oh, geez. Only 4, but okay. Ooh, geez. Okay, that's definitely not popping off, but, I mean, whatever. Whatever. We'll think about it. We'll think about it. All right, let's talk about the build a little bit here. Talent-wise, we are playing what I want to be eventually a Fire Warbringer. Why am I doing this? Mostly because I was like, well, what do I want my next character to be? Well, I want to play the other Warrior Ascendancy, so I want to play Warbringer. And what kind of damage stuff do I want to do? Well, I kind of want to try Perfect Strike, and if I'm doing Perfect Strike, let's do fire stuff. And so we're going to do a Fire Warbringer. So that's that. The sort of idea behind the build is a whole lot of block, and being able to block AoE as a really strong defensive layer, and like melting armor and benefiting from because we can break armor with all hits, right? Including fire hits. So instead of breaking armor, we're melting it. This is the idea. I like that thought. And then eventually we can have some kind of payoff with broken armor, besides just dealing more damage against targets due to like this kind of thing, right? Eventually I might go Sunder on my actual guy. I'll go Sunder, and then we'll have like crit ignite Sunders on people, which will be so sick. So sick. But that's what I've gotten with my first 2 Ascendancy points. We have just breaking armor equal to % of hit damage dealt. If we could break armor below 0, that would be cool, but apparently this isn't working properly, so I'm not doing that. I didn't need to have extra block chance, so I just went ahead and put it in Jade Heritage for the extra 10% physical damage DR stacks that you get. Eventually, the blocking to AoE is coming from this, so you would go here for gaining 40% base chance to block from your equipped shield instead of the shield's value, so you can wear shields that don't have extra block chance, then have shields that have like extra armor or extra life as their prefixes, which is cool. So you could get a really, really high armor shield and like shield charge, like really, like hit really hard with shield charge, which is kind of cool. And benefit from these kind of talents a bit if you wanted to, right? But what gives you the AoE block is this, Turtle Charm. So you have 35% less block chance. This isn't minus 35% block chance. This is whatever your block chance is. It is like it is 35% less of that. So it's kind of rough, right? So you're gonna have to get like a lot of block chance to make this okay. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It'll be okay if we take like every block node that we have access to and anoint for block. It'll be okay. Because we also want to get a shield called Svalin, which makes my block chance lucky, which is something that we're gonna have to work on, and who knows if that'll ever happen. But regardless, you can block damage from all hits while shield is not raised. So hits being AoE, so you can block slams with this, which is pretty cool, because a lot of scary things that bosses do are slams, and you can block them, which is really neat. And a lot of just crap that hits you. It's exactly right. It's like acro for evasion, except it's turtle charm for blocks. That's what we're trying to do. I'm not going to go in the order that I allocated these talents, but we do have all these videos showing you like Act 1, 2, 3, then Act 1 through 3 of Cruel. So we'll just show you kind of what we're at right now. We went through melee damage. It was really important for me to take a lot of melee damage nodes because we're using a one-hander and shield the whole time. And, you know, like you got to keep your damage up when you're using a one-hander and you're playing SSF, so you don't always get like really nice weapons and stuff. So I was really hard prioing damage. Like I think my whole tree is damage except for like beef and unbending. And I just put beef in just now to make sure I didn't get one-shotted by Doriani, but we one-shotted him instead. So that was cool. But we went for melee damage, and then we go up here for a little bit of fire damage. Damage penetrates fire, resistance, and then fire damage, damage pen, and then magnitude of the ignite that you inflict, which is cool. We're gonna maybe even put more points into the, like we might fill out this whole, like some of this whole wheel eventually, because what we want to do is eventually switch my damage to like full fire conversion, which would be interesting, because we're not currently relying on leech for mana or life. And we don't rely on physical damage dealt to break armor, so we're kind of chilling on that. So we can go full fire. We just need to make sure we scale the elemental to do enough damage. But anyway, we're going for more melee damage. We are going over to increased damage with hits against burning enemies. So when you're like getting in rhythm with your perfect strikes, that first perfect strike that goes off and well timed will ignite the enemy 100%. So then after that, you're slamming them with even more damage with perfect strike, which also puts a bigger ignite on them as well. It's a nice rhythm to get into, just blast it. And it also is kind of nice with the damage against heavy stun enemies. I think for mapping eventually though, we'll probably go like this when we do like a dual spec setup, which I might do sooner rather than later. We might do like a mapping setup where I have some AoE, because this build is going to struggle with AoE. That's going to be a problem. But there's some cool adjustments you can make. Once you get enough damage, you can go more AoE and things like that. Like once you get enough block, or once you get a shield and your ascendancy points, you can start going for different types of block, and we're gonna have to start investing in block now for sure. But anyway, I might go this eventually. This for now. Going down here, I'm grabbing the one-hander stuff for damage. The chance to maim is kind of fun. The attack speed is definitely kind of fun. We're going down here. I did grab beef just recently. I didn't grab it early. I grabbed it just recently because I was like, I just don't want to get one-shotted by this boss, and we're clear. So we didn't get one-shotted. We're clear. I'm going to talk about this real quick. We went over here. We actually have a little bit of reduced attack speed just because it gives you so much more damage, right? Big stun build-up, big attack damage, too good to pass up. Now that my gloves have attack speed on them, I may be interested in taking a little bit more reduced attack speed just to have that magnitude of ailments you inflict be good, because the ignite, again, comes from Herald of Ash explosions when I kill stuff, and from my perfect strike, so it's good for like AoE and single target. So this is something to consider. I don't love taking all the reduced attack speed, but since we are using a one-hander, our attack speed isn't like as painfully slow as if it was a two-hander, right? So this is a big one. This is pretty fun. We're doing a lot of increased armor breaking, which is pretty cool. And then we also have this just increased damage against enemies with fully broken armor. So when we're smacking people with perfect strike, it is breaking their armor, and then we do even more damage. Once their armor is broken and they're ignited, they're taking a ton more damage. This is like 100% increased damage against enemies with broken armor. We have all this extra damage from enemies when they're ignited from different sources. I think there's this one, and there's some other ones somewhere else, right? Like maybe over here. Increased damage hits against ignited enemies. So yeah, it adds up to a lot of damage when we get in that perfect strike rhythm, which is kind of what I wanted. You're like a Forge Master, like bing, 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 with like perfect timing. It's pretty cool. The Forge Master, Warbringer, Flamebringer Warrior. We have a socket here. I have these 2 points in here. It was just really good damage, just 20% increased damage. It's pretty good. We may eventually, I might actually play Stampede on this character if I can figure out how to do the AoE. If I can figure out how to get some AoE on this guy, I might do Stampede, and then I will want to put these points in Aftershock because we're going to lose the Titan Ascendancy Aftershock, and we're going to lose a little bit of percent chance to Aftershock, like 6% chance to Aftershock because of the fact that we don't have the Jewel and I don't have Hulking Form, but I mean, like, 70% chance to Aftershock is still pretty good. So I might be clearing with Stampede, because I think Stampede is really solid, and it would be fun to Stampede with Ignite. Everything is just ignited and bleeding and stuff. It'd be so sick. Fire bleed, that is. But anyway, we're going to go up here. Eventually, we'll take Avatar of Fire. This converts 75% of damage converted to fire damage, but you deal no non-fire damage. So it does decrease your damage if you don't have the fire scaling. So we need to have the fire scaling in order to go this, but we almost have all the fire nodes that I want. I think we do even have them all, so we're going to test this out in maps. But anyway, a couple more nodes of fire would be good. We have increased magnitude of ignites, chance to ignite, hits against ignited enemies. So right, we have 40 here, we have 30 here, we have, you know, another 28 here. So 30, 40, 28, that's nearly 100% increased damage against ignited enemies and armor broken enemies. So we're doing like 200% increased damage when we're bing, bing, Forge Master style bonking on people. I would like to get increased fire damage. I would like to get heavy stuns, inflict fire exposure at some point, and I would even like to have this. I'd like to take this whole wheel. I might even want to take this whole wheel too. Because eventually we're also going to want to have chance to ignite. Because we do ignite guaranteed off of Herald of Ash and against and with Perfect Strike, but it would be cool to ignite with Hammer too. I just don't know if that's going to happen. Because we have chance to ignite here. We have like, yeah, a little bit here, but I think there's some chance to ignite up here that we could take as we path to this node. Sorry, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. But anyway, we may eventually want to have ignite chance on Hammer of the Gods, because that would be huge too. We are done over here. Then we path up to this. We go stun threshold strength, stun threshold strength, stun threshold strength. And then I have a little bit of melee damage with AoE here. Then I have resolute technique. If we can eventually get away without resolute technique, I would like to. I would like to not use this so that we can use Sunder. But for now, it's fine. Then we go strength, jewel socket up to here. I actually have a little bit of AoE here just to get access to the stun build up and attack damage. We could easily put 2 points for increased AoE and more AoE if you stunned recently. That would feel pretty nice. We're going over here for breaking more armor and getting more armor. 2 nodes of that, and then 1 more giga breaking armor and chance to defend with more armor, which is cool, but it's mostly like we want to break armor like that, so we just do big damage, right? Would it be better to run Immolate on Hammer and use it after your Perfect Strike? Maybe. I can take a look at that, for sure. Why no Sunder with Resolute Technique? Because Resolute Technique makes it so you cannot crit, and the big thing about Sunder is consuming a fully armor broken effect to guarantee a, like, triple damage crit, right? You could giga crits with Sunder, but if you can't crit, it doesn't do anything, right? So you want to have enough accuracy to not have to use this talent to then use Sunder. So that's what we got. So big damage with that. And then we go up here just for some generic damage. This is physical damage into attack speed. This is just generic damage. And then we go up here for elemental damage, damage against ignited enemies, and then fire damage, more fire damage, and ignite duration on enemies, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't really looked into scaling Hammer with ignite, but yeah, we could. Isn't it just like, is it just percent chance to ignite? It just guarantees an ignite, something like that? That could be pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. That would be a good option too. But eventually, one of the things I'm gonna want to do, don't need to talk about it too much, but we do eventually want to go up here. So it'd be cool to even just ignite with like Stampede, which would be kind of fun too. That'd be neat. But we're gonna be tight on points because we have to go like every block node is gonna have to get filled in, like all of these block nodes, and then eventually we're gonna travel over here to grab this, and then maybe like try to anoint for flashy deflection until we can anoint for parrying motion. And that's pretty much the whole talent tree that I'm planning right now. But anyway, enough of that. Talk about what we're actually doing still. What got me to maps here is Mace Strike with Culling Strike. So if you whack an enemy when they're low, they'll get culled. The culling amount is different for different enemies. Normal mobs get killed at 30, magic at 20, rare at 10, uniques at 5. It's kind of nice. When they're low, just bonk them. I don't think I'm gonna go Giant's Blood with this one. How much accuracy is enough? Like 95% plus, maybe, would be enough. But it could be even less than that. But I do have enough room in my spirit to use precision, so we're not too far off. But we'll see. Well, I could even look at it right now, but we'll focus up. So overpower, I have it in basic attack right now. It's just somewhere to have it. I have it demolishing more armor too, so it's stunning, maiming, or sorry, stunning, culling, doing more armor break and just giving it a little bit more damage on top of it just for fun, just to hang on to that, because I might put heft somewhere else when we unlock more slots for other skills. Hammer of the Gods right now, I have it doing more fire damage. I have it getting ancestrally boosted for more AoE and damage, and I have it consuming a fully broken armor to do more damage. The Immolate, though, is definitely an interesting option to eventually make it so it has like a 100% chance to ignite. Is that, am I correct in remembering what Immolate does? Support attacks gain 30% of extra damage as fire against ignited enemies. Oh, okay, but they cannot ignite themselves. No, see, I do want it to ignite. I do want it to ignite, so maybe I wouldn't use that. But it would be a big hit still, but I do want it to ignite. Can you multi-ignite in a single amulet? You can replace the anointment, yeah. So with Bone Shatter, I have this doing the impact shockwave, so when it stuns, it does the AoE. I have that AoE being a bigger AoE, and then I also having it fully, it does an explosion when it breaks the target's armor. I do enough damage, and I break enough armor that I don't need to do the stun breaks armor explosion combo. I can just break their armor with damage and then have them explode. It's pretty nice clear. Leap Slam, I have Maim on Leap Slam. It feels so good to jump on a pack and they can't run away because they're slowed. So that's what Maim does. It gives them 30% slower movement and 15% reduced evasion rating, which is pretty nice. Maybe this could be really sweet for not having enough accuracy, but it's too much effort to do it first, just for that reason. But it is nice to have in general. I have it having a little bit faster attack speed, and I have it giving me Consecrated Ground when we land, so it gives me that little healing circle and Curse cut in half effectiveness circle. Infernal Cry, having it cost less, I'm having it come off cooldown faster, and I'm having it help me deal more damage with the empowered skills, so that empowered Perfect Strike, kablam, or that empowered Hammer of the Gods, kablam, doing even more damage. And this is also fire damage, so I think that scales on my fire damage, so the Infernal Cry is insane. It's insane. I don't know if I'm going to do the no cooldown on War Cries setup, because I kind of like the armor idea, but if I did do no cooldown on abilities, this would be nuts to use. This also makes me want to use Magma Barrier, so I can parry, get endurance charges, and have like multiple attacks empowered by Infernal Cry. So this character has a lot of really cool stuff it can do, and we're gonna play around with a lot of the different options. But this Infernal Cry is nuts for this build. Shield Charge, I have it. It does fully break armor when inflicting a heavy stun, which is kind of convenient way to break armor. I don't necessarily love this. I think I might prefer it being a just higher damage ability, but this is what I'm doing right now. We also have it doing close combat. When you do make contact with enemies, it does more damage, and it will do more damage if you use it from farther away. When you charge in, you'll bonk them.
This is not the place for violence.
I was wondering if I could use it here. Can I go to my hideout now? Oh, sick. I have access to my hideout. So you see how it did that little green thing? That's what did it. Then we have Perfect Strike. We have a shorter perfect timing window with 50% more damage when you actually land it. Bing, pow. And then I have it actually having a smaller AoE, but does more damage in the AoE. It's kind of a small AoE anyway, so it's really not that big of a deal. And then I have it doing Heavy Swing, so it's a slightly slower attack, but it does more damage. And then I have my little totem guy. Totem boy eventually can sunder. I might let him sunder eventually, but right now he'll pop out when there's an enemy around, and he will Rolling Slam, which builds up stun pretty nicely, which is convenient. I also have it giving me a heal over time effect when he's out, and I have it giving me rage when he's out. Eventually I could switch this for me being able to use Sunder. I could switch this out for Seismic Cry, something like that if I wanted to, but we're a little bit tight on talents or ability slots right now, so we'll see. But if I wanted him to be out here and use Sunder, that would give me a little bit more like rage and healing and still have Sunder, but I just wouldn't be able to scale it quite as hard. But it's okay. Herald of Ash, I have this with Clarity because I am still using mana right now. I don't know if I'm going to go Blood Magic. I usually like to, but I don't know if I will. But Clarity is chill for now. I have it with Cannibalism because we have Life Recovery on kill, which is sick. And then we have Herbalism, which is giving me increased recovery from Life Flasks. And then we have Scavenged Plating because we're breaking armor constantly, so we're getting lots of armor. And they buffed it so you can actually use it on bosses and have it be valuable. Lots of armor is kind of cool. Thorns is kind of whatever, but this is nice. And we have it with Persistence, so it lasts longer. And we also have it with Vitality because we have Spirit on our chest piece, so we can have like a whole nother 30 Spirit to work with. So Vitality is nice. And then eventually, if we want to keep using this same thing, what we could do is we could chuck Precision in here, right? And then we could have that with Accuracy, which would be cool. But right now, I don't think we have enough to do it. Should we find out? just real quick.
Back to the forge with this one.
How much do we have? Okay. We have 68% chance to hit. Precision is not saving us. Okay, that's not... Okay. We need resolute technique for right now. Alright, what do we have going on with my gear at the moment is this. So, we made this weapon today. Pretty darn good. Big fizz percent, big fizz flat. The crit hit chance is obviously not doing anything for me. The strength is nice, but not like huge. Life per kill is nice, but not huge. The main thing is that it just does damage. So that's what we need. The fizz damage is cool. Helmet, we have... So basically, just to reiterate, what we're looking for in a weapon is flat fizz, percent fizz, attack speed, skills. Eventually when you play Thunder, you can do like crit damage. That's chill. Strength is fine. Mana leech would be nice too. Life leech would be okay. The problem is when we go full fire conversion, none of those physical damage leech does life or mana is going to do anything, so you might not want to get attached. We have our helmets, and all of our armor is like, you want resists, life, and then defense. So my resists are looking pretty good. Cold got knocked down a bit, but we're going to be able to grab a rune that gives me cold resistance. And we're going to be able to chuck that in there. And now we're chilling. Now we're chilling. But anyway, we've got life, or resists, life, stats is insane, and then the like armor is nice too. But the main thing is you want resists, life, stats, and then defenses on all of your armor. That's the name of the game on everything. On my amulet, we have plus all melee skills, which is kind of crazy. Resist is useful, life is nice. You just gotta get what you can on amulet. Plus skills is insane. A lot of life and resist and stats on amulet seems pretty good to me. The armor is whatever. Cast speed is definitely not doing anything for me right now, but eventually I may try to use flammability as a curse, and I guess we'll cast that faster if we're still using the amulet at that point. Shield is kind of like, it's kind of like the armor, where you want resists, life. Block chance is great, but it's either it needs to be above 40% or just don't have block chance at all, because you can just get block chance from your ascendancy, and that's what you eventually want to do. You eventually want a shield with like a bunch of armor and life, probably. I think you can get like triple armor rolls, right? It's like flat armor, big percent armor, and like armor life hybrid would be pretty cool. And then you want like stats and resists. If you can get the additional physical damage reduction, that's also crazy. Like this right here. Additional physical damage reduction is a suffix. It is awesome. So resist plus that would be insane. On rings, resists. Life resists on rings, for sure. Life resists. Rarity is kind of cute. But life and resists on rings. This one has, this one even rolled a bunch of life, which is crazy. Resists for now. Resists are the main thing, if you couldn't tell. My gloves, we want, again, resists. These were very offensive gloves, though. They have 2 sources of added damage. Life, rarity, and attack speed, but it does have a resist on it. And you can socket a resist, too, so... Attack speed plus skills added damage is all really cool for offensive stuff for gloves. For belt, life resists, resist life, stats. This doesn't really have all of that, but it's like, it got me to maps, so that's cool. I'm grateful for it, but we're gonna try to replace that eventually. Decent life though, it's all right. Boots, you want movement speed even over resists and everything else. But after you get movement speed, you want resists, life, and stats, and armor and whatever, rarity. Like defenses and rarity after that are cool too. For flasks, I really like the flasks that give me recovery applied instantly, a small percent. I still like the general recovery. So my ideal flask would be percent recovery applied instantly and gains charges over time. Same thing for mana, except you don't really want, you kind of want more recovered as mana. I don't think I need percent recovery instantly, but you definitely want the recovered over time. Getting the second best one, I think, is charges when you kill an enemy. That's good for mapping too. Your charm is really whatever. I'm gonna put the chaos charm back on because we're gonna be doing maps and stuff. Freeze immune charm and stun immune charm is good. I don't think I'm gonna be getting stunned, but freeze immune is a really nice option too. But I'm gonna go with the chaos immunity one because we're in maps now and there's probably gonna be chaos stuff trying to one-shot me. And we have the rings that we can swap into for extra chaos res if we know we're dealing with chaos. But mostly what I'm doing with my little slots here too is we're just getting resists. Eventually, if we don't need resist, we can add armor to like chest piece and shield because you can scale the defenses of those pieces If we don't do that, we don't really need it, but we could. We could slap life in there. Eventually, we might want Chaos Res Soul Cores because running around with 10% Chaos Res is a dangerous game. But that's what we got going right now, boys. We made it. Hardcore, solo self-found, campaign complete.